brothers and sisters of High Noon. Welcome back. I am inspired by some words I just read from True Mother and True Father about sex in life and God-centered sexuality. It's something our world desperately needs, and True Father and True Mother have been talking about these concepts for many, many decades. So I'm going to share these words with you. I'll share some personal experience and insights there. So let's get rocking. This is True Mother from True Mother's Anthology, a model for the family ideal and world peace. The world of peace is not initiated on the global or even the national level. Peace must first be realized within the individual and the family, as these form the basis for all human organizations and systems. The central issues of world peace essentially depend on the question of how peace can be realized within the individual and the family. The original ideal of God's creation was the kingdom of heaven on earth, and beyond that, a world in which the ideal of love also embraces the spiritual dimension. Thus, a kingdom of heaven was to be formed in both the spiritual and physical worlds. This ideal was to be achieved by expanding the model of an ideal family to the world level and then to the cosmic level. For this reason, a family of true love is the foundational unit and basis of an ideal world of peace. When true parents, a true husband and wife, and true children all attend God and form a true family of peace, and then that family expands to form a clan, nation, and world, true world peace will be realized. For this, the role of the mother and wife in creating family peace is absolute and eternal. Today, immorality and decadence are spreading throughout the world. The family is crumbling under the burden of soaring divorce rates and increasing self-indulgence. In these circumstances, the true family movement and the pure love education that WFWP is promoting worldwide are, in the fundamental sense, movements for peace. They are movements that can save the nation and save the world. They are unique peace movements of the highest dimension, driven by the power of God's true love. Thank you, Mother. Let's move on to words from True Father. This is an excerpt from the book Core of the Universe, in the section called Core of the Universe. Quote, "How did man and woman come into existence? What makes them different? How do they become one? Centering on what do man and woman unite? Centering on the sexual organs. This is how they harmonize. Love is perfected in this place. True love is perfected for the first time there. That is also where the lives of man and woman are united, and their lineages are interchanged and planted. The sexual organs are the original palace of the ideal love and lineage. The absolute original place is called the original palace, and no one can change its value." Thank you, Father. So this sentence in particular, the absolute original place is called the original palace, and no one can change its value. This really struck me because it is very, very common. The tendency that we have in our world today is that we tend to use our sexuality for ourselves. That's the current trend. Mother has been talking about this, Father has been talking about this. And they've been going against the current, against the grain, and emphasizing that sexuality is meant to be given. It's meant to be shared with your spouse and meant to be used to have a blessed family, a true family, and expand that love to the world, and through that changing the world. That's the emphasis, that's the impetus of their speeches, their tours, their rallies that they've done. And in this sentence in particular, True Father is saying no one can change its value. This really struck home for me because I have many times had the tendency to think or to assume incorrectly that my sexuality is bad, my sexuality is sinful, it's wrong, my sexual organ is selfish, and I'm just selfish, right? And it was a very subconscious feeling and thought that I had that was very insidious, but very prevalent throughout my entire life, most of my life, until actually just quite recently in the last few years. And it was this assumption that I'm selfish and my sexuality is bad and wrong and evil. And mind you, it's not a conscious feeling that I've had, but it was a very subtle subconscious belief until I really questioned that thought. I was like, I kind of took a step back and was like, that doesn't seem accurate. It doesn't seem healthy. And also, that's not how I want to feel about myself. I don't want to feel like I'm selfish all the time and I have to kind of keep a leash on myself, so to speak. And so I kind of reflected a bit and I was like, man, my sexuality can't be evil. It can't be wrong. Why? Because God created my sexuality. God created your sexuality. And so it can't be wrong. The fundamental foundation of your sexuality cannot be changed by anyone. It cannot be devalued. No one can change that value except for you in your own perceived imagination, right? And so I looked at my life and I was like, actually, my sexuality has done a lot of good. It has done a lot of good. It has been the drive for me to create, to serve, to give, to create life. And I looked at my life, I looked around my family, and I was like, man, I have 3 children. I have given life to human beings together with my wife. I've given my sexuality fully to my wife, and she to me. And I was like, that's a good thing. That is a blessed thing. And so I stopped seeing my sexuality as something bad or wrong or evil, but actually has done so much good for this world. And I'm saying this because your sexuality, whether you're single, especially if you're single, or you are in a blessed relationship, can be used for goodness, because that is the original intention. And if you let it be used for goodness, it can be used for things to create. Sexual energy is a creative energy. It's not meant to be misused or misdirected. It's meant to be created through creating life, but also through giving, through serving, through service. We've talked with so many brothers and sisters here in our programs in High Noon that have found ways to utilize their sexual drive to create, to go deep into hobbies, to go deep into spirituality, into understanding themselves, go deep into understanding God and the core of the universe, go deep into service and making their motivation for life to really be to give, and that drives them to create things. And whatever you're creating in your life, guys, whether it's something physical, something spiritual, something that you're excited for, your future, a vision for your life, whatever you're creating, guys, you can use your sexual energy for that. And I think that is the impetus for us creating this blessed ideal world that true parents here are talking about. Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you in the next video. Lots of love. See you.